Yo, what's up? How you doing? Now, if you know me, I love MMOs. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. Besides anime, I have an addiction. We've talked about this. When it comes to doing PvP, I love seeing health bars drop. I don't know why, it's like a fetish. But when it comes to PvE, baby, there's only one game that really does it for me, and that is Phantasy Star Online 2. However, Sega was like, oh, your mouth's feeling watery? Well, we're gonna make this shit even better and call it New Genesis. Now, when a trailer dropped for this back in 2020, my instant thoughts were, this game's gonna run like shit. It looks blurry. It looks weird. There's a lot of particle effects. There was a lot of thoughts that were running through my head. However, I was able to put all those thoughts aside this weekend and finally play the closed beta. Though, I didn't get to play every day, I only got to play on Sunday, but I feel like I've played enough to give you a first impressions of Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first up is character creation. Obviously the same races. You get human, Newman, elf people, caste, robot people, and then you get Dooman, which comes with horns as an option and a special eye. Horns is kind of my weakness. Anyways, the character creator basically stays the same. The only thing that I really saw that was new is this beautiful New Genesis outfit, and the detail on it looks absolutely beautiful, and the jacket moves in the wind when you're running around. When it comes to the editor itself, it basically remains the same, with some New Genesis face options as well as eye options. There were also some reworked hairstyles that were also available, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they looked pretty fucking good. On top of that, it seems like you can wear cast parts without being a cast. So if you're one of those people who spends money on the cast shop and then you're super depressed because you keep getting cast parts, well, this time around you can probably just throw them on. However, the editor basically just stayed the same, and that's perfectly fine. Again, I think PSO2 had a good editor from day one, and there's no reason to really change it. Just update everything, make everything look better, and just keep it the same. Because again, the way you can customize in this game, you can get the character you want, except for male characters, because it seems like whatever physique I pick, they look like they're trying to flex with every outfit they've ever had. I saw that happening in this one too. I created a guy character for like a split second just to see what it looked like, and for some reason the physique, man, it just looks like their chest is like puffed out for some reason, and I made sure my guy had no chest, but he had a chest. But yeah, character creator still golden, baby, and no reason to change. Once my character was made and they threw me in the world of PSO2, I was kind of stuck in shock for a little bit, because number one, the environment looked absolutely stunning. On top of that, it feels futuristic, it looks futuristic, and honestly, it does not look like a game that came out in 2012. It officially looks like a modern game, definitely for 2021. They hit that mark just right. On top of that, the main hub concept definitely got a facelift, with the concept changing to vendors being more centralized, meaning you're not going from first floor, second floor, third floor to find a vendor. This time around, it's literally in the middle of the hub, which makes things way easier to find, makes it way easier to upgrade, and just jump back into the action. Literally, since this game has not a lot of loading screens, except for when you're going through the cocoon, which is the fast traveling option now, you literally can just go from action to going to the main hub, upgrading, and then jumping right back into the action. And that's what I have needed from Phantasy Star for so long, because loading screens kind of make me unwind a little bit, and that makes me grind less. I need a game that will constantly keep me engaged, and this is the way to do it for sure. Now, when it comes to combat, I definitely have to say this is probably the best Phantasy Star has ever felt. It feels clean, it feels fluid, it feels modernized, it's so good. Now, I didn't get to record the non-melee classes like Gunner or Ranger, however, the gameplay for that was even better. I didn't think Ranger could feel better, and it definitely does. I wish I had footage for you guys, because it feels super mobile, while at the same time remaining the same. And that's kind of the theme with New Genesis. It feels the same, like it's the exact same game, it just feels more modern. Now, the only thing that didn't really feel modern was the locking onto an enemy. It does seem like when you start getting closer and closer to the enemy, it seems like the camera starts to become slightly a mess, but I don't think that it's a mess per se, but I do think it's more of the camera maybe a little too close to the character. However, when I'm not locking on, the game feels a lot better, so it's probably personal preference. However, with original PSO2, I am used to locking on to majority of the things I'm fighting. However, I'm glad that I don't have to this time around. They also added something that's called the cocoon, which also gave the ability to fast travel, and even on top of that, some of these cocoons come with little mini trials and basically teaches you how to play the game. There's also one called Tower, and supposedly that was a little harder. However, with limited time on the beta, I never got to try it. Now, what I did get to try was the cash shop, and obviously if you've ever played PSO2, it's either pay to convenience or pay for cosmetics, and some of the cosmetics that I got were more of the NGS style type of outfits, and I could already see these being extremely cool. Can't wait to see the crossover from old outfits to new Genesis. I think that's going to be the huge oh my god factor, but I didn't really see any of that in the cash shop, so only time will tell with that. But overall, in all honesty, that's all there really is to say about new Genesis. But overall, I'm completely sold on this game. They didn't stray too far from what I thought they would, and on top of that, it definitely exceeded my expectations. And if you know me personally, when it comes to like talking about games, I'm extremely nitpicky, but when it comes to this game, there wasn't much to nitpick. If you're a fan of Phantasy Star, if you enjoy the combat, if you like the anime style aesthetic, this is it. If you wanted a more open world experience, but you wanted it to be in the world of Phantasy Star, this is it. This is probably one of the best, already I can tell you, one of the best PvE action MMOs that are going to be coming out in the future. And it feels good to actually call it a fucking MMO this time, because before it was more of a hub-based MMO, but now it's a full-fledged MMO RPG open world experience. And that right there is a fucking winner. But anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you've been on this channel for a while now, you've probably already noticed that this is something that I don't usually do. I'm more of a live commentary kind of guy, but when it comes to Phantasy Star, it's probably one of my favorite series out there, and I had to do a first impressions. But after doing it, I think I'm gonna just try to do more of these in the future, so I'm a lot better at it. But yeah, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, think about subscribing. You probably should. But anyways, yeah, stay frosty, and there's more to come. Peace.